also already producing, and perhaps the more and the better, sharper and better, getting more and better understanding for the need for gender equality, the better the results, and perhaps also the more measurable results. Have a great seminar.
So you're all most welcome.
Now, who are gender focal points? How many people from Southeast Asian background? Southeast Asia. That's a good question. Okay.
We're going to re-emphasize the integration or mainstreaming of gender in all our programs, and make a point of supporting our organizations in their work.
Policy on democracy and human rights, which is called Change for Freedom. Supporting civil society actors, which is a very strong focus of our assistance, I would say, in most countries.
We need some interaction.
I think it would be very interesting if there are actual examples of either human rights, democracy or environment programs where you've seen that people are able to actually integrate and highlight the issues of gender equality.
The most important thing is that it's bottom up. I think the most important thing is that the needs of women and men are taken into account, and whatever we do, we try to improve their well-being. That should be our end goal, that should be our mission, that should be our vision, and it is. It's encoded in Isimo's vision and mission, and that we also improve the environmental sustainability, you know, of the region. So these are things that are encoded, and in that, and it's about not only inclusive development, it's about equitable development.
And then the thing is, after all 4 presentations, we just throw it open to the floor and continue the discussion. So that's the idea.
Our work is really crossing over the 3 areas that were mentioned as Sida priorities. So we're a Sida partner under the human rights framework.
Every regional department in ADB must meet the gender target of 40%. If it does, it'll get more money the following year.
Maybe one area that we included that you didn't touch on was around accountability systems within the organization.
Probably one of the biggest challenges is that we haven't been very good at documenting what we were doing.
I think this workshop is very interesting. We're really looking forward to seeing the evaluation from it, actually, because this putting together the human rights and the environmental people and seeing the synergies and the crossovers they're making, I think it's been quite an exciting process.
You have to have people with gender knowledge as well as M&E knowledge. You have to link the program goals and the strategies. And you have to get wide agreement on the performance indicators to measure success.
And so somehow we need to match this discussion about results-based management and gender mainstreaming with how does that actually shift movements? How do we support women's movements? And that's not just, you know, within women's rights organisations. That's only one small part of it. Within the broader human rights movement,
we also would develop more specific programs. At the moment is focusing on the developing on violence against women.
Actually, a lot has been said about women in the peace-building process. You know, there's 1325. Basically, you know, I think there's room to look at that and see how you can incorporate that into your work.
What we want to see is more and more reports in Malaysia Kini bring gender dimension in their daily reports.
Gender is again, end of the day, women's right and all this. This needs to be done in partnerships because different people have different expertise and specialities. We need to work through partnerships, otherwise working alone it will not achieve.
Simply put, it means who are we contributing, or how are we contributing to change, why, and who will do this.
This was a kind of a challenge to us to merge so many people and aspects of our regional program here under one ceiling, the gender ceiling.
I hope this has been a good start of taking this further within your organizations and with your partners. So this is just hopefully taking that work further.
Gender mainstreaming as well as work on women's empowerment form an integral part of Diakonia's program. Many of Sida and other international networks and partners have promoted Diakonia's gender work, and this has really helped us integrate gender mainstreaming into all of the levels of our work.
I think we need to embrace the human rights framework as a whole, comprehensively. So in that sense, then gender mainstreaming is very, very crucial to it. So that's, sort of the big picture. So what we want to actually have is that as an organization, we have that value, but also when we are dealing with the journalists, we're providing training, we are building their capacities, that this also translates into their value in their work.
We look at gender in one of the core value in human rights work. So in that way, gender is always, in a kind of, mainstream activity in our all work, whatever we do.
So our main partners include Sida and NORAD. Of course, they're the ones who are funding our initiative. So gender equality is not only mainstream, it's inherent to how we deal with the environment and with others.
So we wanted from this workshop our partners to, in a clearer way, show how they work on the gender mainstreaming issues. Some of them already do, but they do not present it, they do not report upon it. Others do not at all include the gender issues. We wanted them all to be aware of and learn how to do this, and progressively start to incorporate gender issues into their work.